Hey guys, Michelle here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you guys how I created this burn book handheld mirror. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so first things first, we are going to go ahead and place our sticker on top of our mirror, just like what I keep doing here, just to make sure you know where your sticker are going to go, and like that. See, I'm placing it down and I know the letter B is going to go here. So the reason why I do this, just because I get bothered a lot if it's not even or the placing of the letter is crooked or anything like that. So that's why I do that. But so what I do is I just put all the stickers on the mirror. So the one that I'm using here is a permanent vinyl, printable vinyl. And the good thing about this kind of vinyl, it is waterproof, the one I'm using. So any liquid form that touches the letter or the print, it would not smudge it, or it would not make the ink run like you would when you use a non-waterproof vinyl. You would see that the ink would kind of smudge, or it's going to be just, I don't know, it's just everywhere. The ink is just going to be everywhere. So the one that I'm using here is a waterproof one. So just make sure, even though you're using glue, because it's a liquid form, it does affect the ink sometimes. So make sure you are using a waterproof vinyl. So yeah, I'm just go ahead and placing it one by one. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this part just so that we can go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright, so now that I'm happy where I put all of the stickers, it is time to move to the rhinestone. So this is what mine looks like. I just press it down just to make sure nothing is lifting up or anything like that. You don't have to worry about this one because this is a permanent vinyl. It's not going to come off. Plus you're going to put the rhinestone on top of it, so it's good. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the rhinestone part. Okay, so let me go ahead and zoom you guys in. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all the center part of each letter, and then I move my way outward. So that's what I do. That's my technique. I know a lot of people have different technique. You do what works for you, but this is what works for me. So the stones that I'm using in the middle of O is SS16. You can go ahead and use the SS12. And this black stone that I'm using here, which is called Dark Night, it is SS12. So the middle one is called Snow Queen in SS16, and the outer part is called Dark Night in SS12. Now, when I'm doing something like this, I tend to use a mix of SS20, 16, and 12. Those are my three favorite sizes, just because they're easy to work with. Like as you can see, I'm switching to SS, like that one is SS20. So you just eyeball it, if that makes sense, and then go about it outwards. And then, okay, I didn't know I'm out of the frame. I'm sorry about that. So with this one, I'm placing another Snow Queen color, but do not worry about getting out of the white line. Don't worry about that, just because it's not going to be very visible when the entire mirror is done. Like as you can see, I'm passing the white line, and I don't mind, just because I'd rather have the perfect kind of like a rectangle-ish, square-ish shape than not have it at all. So that's what I do. And there you go. I finally move it closer. So that is what it's gonna look like. So again, I just use whatever stone that fits. I eyeball it. I don't really have a specific technique. I just do it as I go. So as you can see here, I'm using the SS12, SS16, and then I decided to take away the SS12 on top and replace it with another SS12. So like that. See, I make mistakes, you know. I'm not gonna be perfect, and sometimes I would put a lot of stones and then I'm gonna go like, oh, it doesn't work out like that, so I have to redo it all over again. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because that's how you learn, and that's how I learned for sure. Is when I make mistakes, you know, it makes me get used to the type of common mistake that I come across with, depending on how big of a space am I working with, just like that. So it becomes easier the more you practice, and allow yourself to make mistakes. Don't feel bad, don't feel discouraged, just keep going. Alright, so this is what it looks like when the entire thing is done. Now let me go ahead and show you the last letter, which is the letter N. So as you can see, my technique is always work in and towards out. I never go ahead, and I know some people do the outline first and then they fill in the inside. I try that technique, it doesn't work for me. So again, do what works for you. Don't just follow other people. You can get technique from other people, but I would recommend to kind of either create your own technique or whatever you're comfortable with, or if the other person or my technique works for you, then you can do that. But you know, my technique is not the only technique out there. There is a lot more people that does it differently than I do, and their technique works as well as my technique. So it just depends on the person. So I would recommend that you do that. Try out different method and go with that. So here I am. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward and show you what it looks like when the entire thing is done. And the difficult part that I have was the lips, because it was just very, very difficult for me to get that shape done. Alright, so this is what it looks like. My video stopped recording when I was doing the lips. I had no idea, and I just I couldn't do anything about it, so I decided to just go ahead and continue making it, sit on the sofa and watch my favorite TV show. So around the mirror you can see there's a silver color. I use SS16 in color Bling. And for the lips, I used First Kiss in size SS16 and SS12. And so yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and do the handle. Now, oh, first of all, the mirror, it's a mixed size. I did SS20, SS16, and SS12. Again, I will keep repeating those sizes because those are the 3 go-to sizes for me. I have never really used other size aside from all those 3 because I don't really want to go bigger than SS20, but I don't want to work with smaller than SS12. It's just too small for me sometimes. So I prefer this 3 size. It's very popular when it comes to me. At least for me, that's what I love to use. I know other people have different preference. So right over here, I'm just doing a scatter method, semi-scattered method, but I'm still doing it at a straight line. The reason for that is if you're working with a very like different shape Like by that I meant like if it goes from smaller to bigger, or thinner to thicker, or if it's like an oval shape, a heart shape, or star shape in this case. It's very difficult to keep the honeycomb method. It won't work like that. You're gonna have a lot of gaps. But so with this one, I did the scatter method and I used those 3 sizes. And again, this color I'm using is Barbie. So I'm just filling up gaps as I go. So don't worry about little bit of gaps. It's good that you have your base color. It helps a lot, and it's not really that visible if you start working the entire mirror. When you finish the entire thing, you won't even notice the gap. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this entire process, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like when it's all done. As you can see, you couldn't even notice the gaps. You just can't notice the gap. So that's what it looks like. I am obsessed with this. It's super cute. I love it. And oh gosh, I think you guys should try it out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up, and do not forget to hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you on my next video.